It's time now for our weekly segment of Happier at Home. This morning we're discussing signs to look for to determine if your loved one needs some help.
We're joined as always by none other than Deb Marcello with more for us this morning. Good morning, Deb. Thanks so much for waking up.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well.
Great. Hi.
Welcome to Rochester.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I
Thank
can't
you.
wait for the two of you to actually meet in person. We got to get you back in studio soon.
I think next week I get this thing off my hand today, so I'm going to be ready to go.
All right, sounds good. But let's get to it. This is an important topic that we're discussing, the signs that we can look for and really how you can start that conversation with a loved one if you think that there's some memory loss, some dementia, or potentially Alzheimer's there.
Right. And so often families are living afar and they don't see their loved one frequently. So when all of a sudden, maybe for Mother's Day, they saw their family and notice there's some changes, but how do you know when you really should be getting some help and maybe having someone go in the home and help them, take them to the doctor and really investigate things? So there are some signs that you really should be taking a look for. That would start with thinking about their independence. What are the things that may be declining that allow them to stay independent? And one of those things is driving. And when they are driving, sometimes maybe their eyesight is starting to fail. Cognitively, they are starting to decline. And some of the signs that may be outright that you could look for would include taking a walk around their car, seeing if the mirror is broken or there's a lot of dents and scratches, which of course would be indicative of them having some problems with driving. Or are they holding back from driving because all of a sudden they know that they're having a problem? So that's one of the things to take a look for.
Deb, how do you even begin to have this conversation with a loved one? I'm sure even approaching it would maybe create some strong emotions with folks saying, no, I'm fine. No, I can be by myself and I'm an independent person. How do you even start?
Well, that's the key. They think that perhaps you're going to be taking away their independence, or immediately you're looking for a senior community, which may be the best answer. But to be able to talk about this, you have to come from a non-threatening angle and making sure that you have some facts to back up what you're talking about. Always having open conversations so it's easier to lead into something like this. So if you are noticing perhaps that they're not changing their clothes every day, if things are unkept at home, the yard work isn't being done, they're forgetting to take their medication. Those are factual observations that you can bring to them and say, these are things that I'm seeing, and don't worry, this happens sometimes as we get older, but there might be some things that we can do to help support your independence and support you remaining home. There are so many different ways, and there's different technologies out there now that's our goal, is to really help people age in place as long as possible. So making sure that you're talking to them about that. And I gotta say, when I go to visit people in their homes, the family will say, well, this is what's going on, and they're really declining physically, and you could see bruises on their arms from falls. But when someone comes into the home to evaluate something like this, a lot of the times the loved one are saying, I'm fine, and look at me, I could walk so good. And so they are threatened by having someone come in and talk with them, but also hoping that they could keep an open mind, because really the goal would be to put services in place or items in place that could help support their independence for as long as possible.
I'm wondering, does that work as a better sell to people instead of losing the right to drive and you know, losing the you know, your independence? Can you sell it as it's an added security, it's an added benefit to make sure you live as long as possible and you are as healthy and as strong as you can be?
Absolutely. And, you know, even saying, you know what, Mom, this isn't, or Dad, this isn't for me. This is for you. This is my peace of mind. I really need to make sure while I'm not here that you're healthy and safe. And so making sure that they understand this will help you as well to have that peace of mind. But, you know, if you have a caregiver come in the home, make sure they understand it's more like an assistant to help you to remain safe and independent. It's not someone who wants to, or we want to have come in and take over control of what's going on in your household. Just someone to support you and help you with the things that you might be having problems with. Even gardening right now, you know, people love, and I love to see a beautiful garden. And if they're having a hard time bending over, kneeling, that type of thing, you could have someone help you with your gardening, but then sit back and be proud of what your home looks like too.
Deb Marcello, Happier at Home. Thank you again. It is such an important conversation. We'll post all of this information on our website, Fox Rochester.